about your lesson plan for the first lesson you are going to teach for Standard 1. First, let me show you the online curriculum of this lesson. I'd like to share my desktop with you. This curriculum is in Chinese 1B, Unit 25. It's called Weather. The objective of this lesson, as stated in the lesson, is be able to talk about we have the capability to talk about the weather, and we have actually prepared some pre-session activities with the students. For example, they're supposed to download this PDF file of the vocabulary guide, like I showed in the session, and also they have a grammar lesson. So the first two lessons, these vocabulary, warm-up, matching, synthesis, are all activities to solidify the students' mastery of the vocabulary and learn to incorporate them into the lessons. And starting from Unit 2, there is a grammar lesson and some writing demonstration of characters. And the lesson this time is the degrees of weather. For example, 真热, 好热, 太热了. And we also have a script here to help the students load the structures they are going to use in this session. And for lesson 3, there's some practice of pinyin tones, and they start to exercise their knowledge to do the listening and reading comprehension. The final lesson is this writing test. And as I have said on your lesson plan, it is a summative session of the whole unit. This is also there's also another test that is testing on the whole unit, but it's more kind of related to the online curriculum instead of the live session. What we learned in the live session is more likely to be tested in this writing test. They can say different weather conditions, and here they can translate them into writing. So it's important that they know the vocabulary and form it. And now let's look at the the PowerPoint of this session. First, the live session expectation asks students to participate fully in the lesson and be supportive of other students' participation and be respectful. These are all very important collaboration and communicational and social skills. And we have stated the specific objectives of this lesson. That is the use of command of the content, knowledge, and grammar, but we have kind of left that here. You have the standard to be addressed. So I see the objective here. Let's see. Let me find. Oh yeah, objectives of the lesson. I have put a comment here. It's more than I don't know where it is now, but I did put a comment here. It's more than I just talk about weather and describe the weather. If it is aligned with your standards, the students should have the daily applicational skills to understand and talk about weather, and they should have the societal and communication skills to discuss weather, express their opinion, and strike up a conversation and apply it to their real life situation. like I said, a webcast onto the web and in the last breakout room activities, you can talk about weather today and predict the weather will be tomorrow. But for those who are into a more advanced level, they can search on the line about the weather in the cities all over the world, and then talk about the weathercast for these cities and compare. And like, for example, now we can say Vancouver 好冷, Sydney 好热. To do this kind of activity, and this can be cross-disciplinary knowledge to combine them into like natural science and social science. These are all to broaden your horizon, not only be limited to the language content and linguistic one. So that's the advice I give. And here, the speaking practice. And this is definitely the formative assessment I have talked about here. Yeah, on the PowerPoint here. And there is another practice. This is the practice activity, the listening comprehension. This is also actually a formative assessment in which you can use a clipboard to check off the students' understanding. Let me introduce how this activity is done. First, you click off the follow the PowerPoint. You can see this section and you read it to the students. The students listen twice, once at normal speed, second at slower speed with important vocabulary stressed, and then you give the students time to answer the questions. If there is attendance, you let the students check the answer with you, so you go back here and point out which one is the correct answer. If there is no attendance, you wait for 1 minute, set timer for 1 minute, and let the students who are watching the recording think about it for 1 minute. That's enough. And then you review the answer. In the end, you let them see the script, so they have visual and audio help in understanding this passage. I would usually read it and also explain it. The student not necessarily need to understand everything, but comprehension is important. But for the formative assessment, they need to apply what they have learned into this session. And the big ideas, and you said this is a good start of the social communication, but as I said, it can be bigger. Like you can extend it to interdisciplinary knowledge. You can make it social important skill, and you can even prepare students for the future career. And this is the discussion you would like the students to do in the class, before class, and after class, and support high order thinking. And I think you say, what is the weather like today? That's a good question. So, but during the discussion, we have already said what the weather is like today. What we can expand is, let me show you, in some sessions, this is a literary course, but in some Brightspace course, in the course, there is a place for discussion. questions, and you can encourage them to participate in this raise the hand to ask questions and start with each other to have a discussion on the discussion board. This is the discussion board of the lesson. This is a very important tool. And also here. And the 21st content knowledge of skills, you said it very well. And the teaching strategies, I suggest you be more concise in talking about the content of the class instead of to focus on the strategies and like less on the content, but on the activities, the skills used, and what like you don't really need to be using the Chinese one. This is the lesson plan for your Teach Now teacher to view. You can just say, set a question. The set a question is too widely in meaning. You can just anticipate set brainstorming activity. So this is a specific activity, brainstorming anticipatory set. And like for vocabulary, it's a review of the vocabulary. This is an activity. And then next level, review of the sentence structures to scaffold them for the next one, like listening, to have them reading and listen. And then the last is the most important activity, the formative, like breakout room session. You can explain why the breakout room session is important, because the students gather in 3 or 4 to understand it. In the goal review, the student survey, you can also say why this survey is important. It is to gather feedback. It is for students to do a self-assessment. This is also part of the assessment. And then that's pretty much it. And I will stress the importance of the student participation, because we have also said in the live session requirements, students do need to take part in the session, and that's pretty much it. And let me go back to our meeting, and let me give you time to ask questions for 3 minutes. Thank you.
Ms. Zhu, thanks for your advice, and I'll rewrite the lesson plan later. And I have questions that when we like the students to practice how to write Chinese characters, I know it is the hardest part for each Chinese student.
Okay. This question can be done in 2 ways. First, there is the formative assessment, the live session, and I usually click open a new page. And if you see my live sessions, I usually do a demonstration if there's no student. And as I finish speaking the sentences I created, I type them out for the student to see. And the student likewise, they first speak and then write out. And to be, some keying might be still used, but I prefer Chinese characters. This is one probably drawback of our curriculum, because it relies a little bit too much on keying in the first level. And as I said, in the in a summative assessment of the unit, students are supposed to use the writing character function to translate sentences. So these 2 are used.
I see. Thank you. I got it.
Okay, any more questions?
Until now, nope.